Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run here, the former Longhorn with it. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Saints, terrific last week in the season opening victory.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number? 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
A short one there, taken in by Ferguson. So the completion good for just 3. And they're going to have a 3rd down. When you look at the Saints defense, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
One thing you always look for when you're evaluating a defense, how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get? How about last week's game? The number was 6. Phenomenal performance.
Well, a throw for Pittman is intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. Inside the 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception. And
that's 2 straight games, back-to-back drives. Back-to-back open drive.
They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. A lane opens here. He's past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Throwing, Prescott. Flushed out right. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's a give, left side, Blue with it. Taken down by Pete Werner. The Cowboys 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1, and they were able to get that road victory in the opener. Now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. They go with Blue between the tackles. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up a screen. You don't want to throw it too early to have the defense react too quickly, and you definitely don't want to throw it too late, and that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. Brandon Aubrey now for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Rattler. He's going to air one out. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints have taken the lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
Now a shotgun handoff, Blue. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Prescott now. And some strong running. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Handoff, Blue running right. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. So that play, I mean, it was pretty well blown up from the start, and it results in a turnover.
Yeah, when you're running the option like that as a quarterback, you have so many different keys and reads to make that sometimes as you're making them, you're not protecting the ball the way you should, and it gets popped free.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Rattler wants to throw it. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Tough spot here. 3rd down and 11. Now Rattler. Looking deep downfield. And that is incomplete.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Right now they're on the wrong end of the scoreboard, and that won't change if this drive ends like the last one when they had that lost fumble. So you have a feeling taking care of the football is certainly paramount right now.
Yeah, and it's not just the guy who dropped it on the last drive, is it? That means everyone who might touch the ball is getting the same message. Guys, ball security, paramount. Let's take care of it, and if we do, we've got a chance to put points on the board.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. Here's Prescott. Flush to his right. That is caught by Lamb. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. On 1st down, it's Blue. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Alontae Taylor. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. It just appeared there that the defense, they had that read from the moment the ball was snapped. And not only did they get the interception, add a nice return on top of it, all the way into the end zone for a defensive touchdown.
Yeah, and the guy made the play. He gets the points. But it really was a group effort, wasn't it? How about the coaches? They've got to be so excited. All the preparation time in the film room, it translated into a big play that put points on the board for their team.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it?
And Prescott, his 3rd interception. Picked up by Justin Reed. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you're throwing this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
All that blown up by DeMarvion Overshown.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
To the air is Rattler. Steps away. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their first one of this game.
Throwing is Rattler. He's got his target. That's complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And now an audible here into something else. Is Shaheed going to go in motion? They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. They'll throw. Here's Rattler. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw for it with Rattler. This is caught. Touchdown, Saints. A great effort there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Saints have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. Oh, and a nice return, but he takes a big shot at the end of it. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They go again with Blue. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They'll try to run for it with Blue. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the 1st down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
They run for it. Here's Blue. And he will have the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's that 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute, because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Pittman. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
2nd and 6. Prescott to throw it. And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them off the scoreboard here.
To throw is Prescott. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And his kick is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. This 2nd and 4. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. From the shotgun, Rattler. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Downfield, and now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. Well, it looks like one of the DBs has it.
It's not often that we see big plays end in disaster, and we just absolutely saw it right there. They had something really big cooking on that one.
Can you, when you're down near the goal line like that on a big play, do you get maybe a little too careless, a little too desperate for the goal line?
I think the last part is exactly right. You get desperate for the goal line, and sometimes you get the ball out of it away from your body, or you're trying to extend to get there, or maybe you're just trying so hard that the ball will come out of your hands. In any event, that's a big opportunity lost.
Prescott now after the fumble recovery. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Alontae Taylor. And the Saints force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
And Shaheed going to go in motion. They'll throw now on the final play. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went with a tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
Third and 20. Rattler working out of the gun. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, it's too early to figure out what kind of adjustments this defense made at halftime, but that's a good start to the second half. They cannot afford to give up more points and fall further behind, so well done to force the punting situation here.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And where will this be spotted? The side judge says it went out just across midfield. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They begin with a carry for Blue. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's DeMario Davis navigating his way into the backfield for a tackle for loss. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Looking to throw. Prescott rolling to his right. And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going, trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
Here's Prescott. And oh, my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Now inside the 25. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really unfortunate for them. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Alontae Taylor. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Over the middle and complete to Shaheed. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 18 yards that time to push him up 1st and goal. They'll look to throw here. That's out to Hill, right side complete. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. And he's got his man in stride, complete. So they'll get nothing out of that play. And this brings up a 3rd and goal. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. As hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
How about this? They'll change it at the line. On 4th down, here's Rattler. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had the play call on 4th and goal, but it's dropped in the end zone. And this Cowboy defense comes up with a goal line stand. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Eluding the pressure right. Oh, Prescott stripped, and this is picked up by the Saints. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line.
Yeah, he should be hurt. There's no way he just ate a hit from the Mario Davis. All user. Like, what?
If they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
He's just low, oh my God. These noodle arms. Damn, bro.
The Cowboys are going to take possession here. It's a
noodle.
Take over at the 20-yard line.
Oh, that's so annoying.
Offense here set to begin the drive.
Yes.
Following the fumble recovery, Milton, the short one there, taken in by Ferguson. It'll be a gain of just a yard. And
oh, he will miss the season? Damn. GG's. GG's. Damn. That thing set the season. No way. I'd be so hot right now. Damn, I did pop him though. Damn, that set the season. Oh, that's tough. Why you keep trying him? Ain't none of that going.
We're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Throwing is Milton. His throw incomplete.
At this point in the game, when the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Milton. Throw left side, taken in by Pittman. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He's going to field this at the 4. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And the last time out, they had the good drive going. You get in the red zone. They throw the interception. Not their first pick of the game either, so we'll see if they're more careful, more cautious here on this drive.
Yeah, nothing worse than repeat mistakes, right? You end up coughing the ball up. You end up throwing a pick. Everything goes awry. And now, points don't go up on the board. I just heard a fan scream out. I thought the idea was to score points. Yeah, they're getting a little restless, too.
And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. Back now in Arlington. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Second and 10. They'll go play action here with Rattler. And the catch made by Johnson.
Oh my God. No way, bro.
Way down inside the 20. 33 yards that time. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And the Saints are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line. Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here, some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the 4th.
They certainly are, and let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all, but in today's football, you just go ahead and...
And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. His 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Saints are on their way to a 2-0 start. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Here's 2nd and 10. Milton. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Here's Milton now to throw. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline is still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Now Rattler. Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd. They'll send the tight end in motion left. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. The CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Up the right sideline. And all the way down to the 41-yard line. 91 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. And runs like that with explosiveness, that's what this rookie can bring to the table.
And add to it speed, patience, vision. A rookie has all of that. That's usually a veteran's combo plate. I love this guy.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll come up 2nd and 7. And they'll run it here. There's the stiff arm. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation. Blue hit. He lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Here we go on 4th down. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Well-executed 4th down conversion.
Yeah, I know this will surprise you, but I've actually done a little bit of reading lately, and all the analytics say that you should go for it more on 4th down. I think someone has referred back to their analytics coach. Maybe he's got a pipeline into the booth because that was a really...
He's got a man complete. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. Aubrey good with a PAT. And that will cut this lead down to 25. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Going for the deep ball. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Well, Charles, kind of the future of this franchise on display right there. You had a rookie throwing it, a rookie catching it, and taking it into the end zone.
Could you imagine if we were in the owner's box right now and we could look at the front office and see the grins on their faces, to see the present making plays and knowing what the future will bring with these youngsters going out and making big-time moments happen for this team.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out, because now it's not a total loss, because as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
They'll run up the middle here with Blue. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
Here's Milton.
Oh, my God. Public every time. Just
at the
laying him out.
46-yard line.
When you're kind
Damn.
of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes.
Whole
Pretty
team weak as
symptomatic of what
hell.
we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth
Yeah, you'd
quarter.
say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. That's caught inside the 20. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That one goes for 30 yards. That one looks like he'll throw here. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be second down. To the air is Rattler. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by DeMarvion Overshown. And the Cowboys are going to get the football back at their own 17. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now.
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
And incomplete as the clock stops here with just 1 second to go in this football game. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Ferguson. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for New Orleans, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they'll fall to 1-1, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.